Welcome everybody to this webinar in the GEO Equality, Diversity and Inclusion webinar series, where we are celebrating international years. This time we are celebrating the International Year of the Youth, so Youth Day. And with us today, we have a great panel of young talent that we will learn more about and what they are doing. Before we start on that program, we will do some housekeeping, etc. I am going to be your host. My name is Bente Liljaby. I come from Norway and have been a part of the GEO community for 20 years this year. So I'm all excited to start. First of all, please remember to mute yourself when you are entering the room or being in the room. I will, if somebody is forgetting it, because sometimes you go in and out, I will help you to mute. So don't be offended. It's just that we want to listen very clearly to the presenters. This webinar will be recorded, and we will go through the program one presentation after the other, but we encourage you to comment and ask questions in the chat while you are hearing these presentations, and then hopefully the time will allow us to have a conversation, because we do want to hear from all of you, and we want also you, the speakers, to engage with each other. So this is all about creating a community for the younger generation of Earth observation experts. So I will start to introduce now the presenters and the program for you, and I will do that by sharing my screen. So the International Youth Day this year is about From Clicks to Progress, a youth digital pathway for sustainable development. And sustainable development is very high on the agenda for GEO, the Group on Earth Observation, obviously. So this is highly relevant and very appropriate that we start to celebrate the International Youth Day with this particular topic. So we will hear the stories from actually five, because we have also a youth representative from the GEO group subgroup on equality, diversity, and inclusion with us today. So the first speaker is Natalia Bermudez. Actually, she is the member of the GEO Equality, Diversity and Inclusion subgroup, and she will introduce you to the subgroup a little bit, and also the theme of the year and how that is linked to GEO. Then we will hear the story from Rutendo Misimma from Zimbabwe and also Belgium now. Pablo Viramontes will continue. He's from the United States of America. And then we have Tanya Idoyaga from Paraguay, apologies, Paraguay. And last but not least, we have Igor Ugashavara from Brazil and currently in Germany. So the program is as follows. We are now about to conclude the welcome speech. We will have the introduction given to us by Natalia. Then Rutendo will talk about charting the digital ocean, harnessing Earth observations for habitat sustainability models, suitability models. Then we move on to Pablo, who is going to talk about geography and Earth observations education in nature resource conservation, followed by Tanya and empowering Paraguayan youth through Earth observations at the GEOLab of the Paraguayan Space Agency. And last but not least, we will learn about both AquaWatch, an activity in GEO, and the GEO Youth Declaration. GEO has a youth declaration from November 2023, and you will be introduced to that as well by Igor. So that is the program for today. And then I will simply give the floor to you, Natalia, and you can kick it off. You're muted.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Bente, for that introduction to give us a great route about what this webinar is going to be about. I'm really, really, really honored to be here introducing our first European American Youth Dialogue in commemoration of the UN International Youth Day. My name is Natalia Bermudez. I work at NASA Air Action within the Capacity Building Program in Huntsville, Alabama, US. And one of my roles as in the NASA is to be the Inter-American Associate. So that means that I'm part of EDI, which is Benton mentioned, the Equality, Diversity, and Inclusion subgroup of the Group of Earth Observation, but also I'm part of the AmeriGEO working group. So today we are really privileged to hear from our splendid and passionate individuals who will unite us and how they, as a young leaders, are addressing the gaps between knowledge acquisition and practical applications using Earth observations. As we know, and as Benton mentioned before, this concern has been highlighted in the Youth Declaration ratified last year in South Africa. But also, we want to present that this topic is really sensitive, knowing that the International Youth thematic focus is on youth, digital pathways, and sustainable developments. So our speakers will explore this theme in depth from their own perspective and experiences. So I just want to say that thank you all for being here to engage in this digital learning experience. The EDI subgroup has opened a global dialogue to foster and to have an open and clear discussion. We have previous webinars with Women's Day and Indigenous Day, and today we have the Youth Day to ensure that social inclusion meets all the activities that GEO is doing right now and how we can reflect that richness of diverse voice, not only in the America, but also in Europe and Africa and Asia. So we are connected, we have a strong community. So I'm really excited to be here. I just leave the floor to these amazing speakers. And yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Natalia, so much for that welcoming and informative background of why we are here. And we dive just right in, literally into the ocean, right, Rotendo? I met Rotendo at the Digital Ocean Forum in Europe, and so she's working on digital twins, which I am also happen to do. So I'm very excited to hear what you, about your work and how you arrived there, Rotendo. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Bente. Thank you for being here. And today I'm going to show you my personal pathway in charting the digital ocean, harnessing Earth observations and making habitat suitability models. So I'll first show you one of the most popular accounts. It's a social media account of a country. I won't mention which one. They put this post up and it says, as a country, we should seriously have a conversation about the degree programs our people are doing at university. We should not even add value to them or the economy. Our people cannot be paying exorbitant fees and spending precious time on useless degrees. No, it's not fair. It's an innocent post, I hope, but the comments that came afterwards were not that friendly. So allow me to translate to you the comments. The comments show that aquatic sciences and marine sciences and Earth observation sciences is useless. The comments tend to gravitate on towards how and why would anyone study aquatic sciences. Unfortunately, in that country, there are many people who want to have a profession in Earth observations, but do not feel validated. I was one of those people, but I'm also a modest maverick. I was born in a landlocked country where I majored in biology in high school. Everyone's assumed I wanted to become a doctor. After all, that was the logical path for me with my interests. But my passion pulled me in a different direction, one that no one in the country had ever pursued. Marine sciences seemed so far and also a taboo. When I decided to study aquatic sciences, I was the only student in the entire country, and I spent 4 years alone in that journey. Many people deterred me, but after 4 years, I finished and ended up in Tanzania. And later on, I came to Belgium. I studied in COVID years, as you can see with the late night study Zoom code there. And I finally graduated, and now I found a home with other marine scientists. So who is this modest maverick? I am an ecological modeler for the Flanders Marine Institute in Belgium, a place where cutting-edge research meets the preservation of our natural environment. I've been involved in some of incredible, impactful projects, including my work on the Brexit Adjustment Reserve project, which tackles the complex ecology challenges that have arisen from UK's exit from the EU. I also specialize in habitat suitability models for the European digital twin of the ocean, a project that aims to simulate and better understand our ocean in a digital realm. So, the EU Digital Twin of the Ocean is a key initiative by the European Commission, launched at the One Ocean Summit in February 2022. This project aims to create a virtual model of marine and coastal environments, helping to simulate and understand impacts of climate change and human impacts on oceans. The DTO will empower a wide variety of stakeholders, including researchers, citizens, businesses, to contribute to the knowledge and also the generation to explore future scenarios and design effective ocean management strategies. We are achieving this through the European-funded editor projects, which are building the foundation of the Digital Twin Ocean platform. Our goal is to unite European marine community, fostering innovation, collaboration, to ensure a fully operational digital twin. The project is more than just about technology. It's about uniting a community dedicated to preserving our oceans for future generations. So I'll let you know what I do on a daily basis. In my work with Editor, I follow a comprehensive process to make habitat suitability models for species. I begin with the input phases, where I get data from Editor itself or other platforms. And then I go to the next process, where it's a three-part process, where I first pre-process my data to see if it's okay. And then I make the models and then validate. Validation is more like you have to see if your model is acting as it's supposed to do, and you compare it with non-based data. And at the end, I make outputs like the one you can see there. It's a habitat suitability model for herring after climate change worst case scenario. So what motivated all this? My deepest motivation has always been driven by an insatiable curiosity to discover and understand the oceans. From the moment I embarked on my first sea expedition, I knew this was more than just a career. It was a lifelong quest for knowledge. I've had the privilege of working as a scientist on numerous marine projects, each one offering new insights and answers. But with every conclusion, I find myself even more intrigued by the mysteries that remain. What began as a desire to understand the ocean has evolved into something greater, a relentless pursuit to uncover what lies beneath the surface, to explore the uncharted, and to push boundaries of what we know. So in each project I complete, I cross out understand and replace it with discover, reminding myself that the ocean's depths still hold countless secrets waiting to be revealed. Another key motivation for my journey was the opportunity to meet a diverse group of like-minded individuals in the world of marine earth sciences, connecting others who share the passion and curiosity, and it's invaluable. Through this work, I've had the chance to collaborate with people from all around the world, as you can see in the picture. These connections have not only enriched my community feeling and understanding, but also fostered a sense of belonging, driving us forward on our shared mission to explore and protect our planet. Quite simply, it was to show it can be done. When I embarked on this journey as a marine scientist, there are plenty of voices telling me it cannot be done. But I wanted to inspire my sister in the first time, but now it's for anyone else there who might feel that their dreams are out of reach. By pushing forward and achieving what others said it couldn't be done, I hope to serve as a beacon for the next generation, showing them that this determination and hard work, they too can defy the odds and accomplish their goals. So as I wrap up, I want to leave you with a concept that deeply resonates with me, Ubuntu. It's an African philosophy that means I am what I am because of who we all are. This idea captures the essence of community, connection, and the shared humanity. It's why I do what I do, because I believe that our individual efforts, when combined, can create something greater than the sum of their parts. I didn't do it for myself. No, 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 no. I did it so that the next young person like me can be whatever they want, especially professional-wise. Together, we can make a difference in our world, just as Ubuntu teaches us. Thank you for your time and for being part of this journey. I'm Rutendo Msingwa, a marine ecological scientist.
Thank you so much, Rutendo, for this inspiring and unique story on how you ended up from inland to the ocean. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And we will have questions, as I said, towards the end. I have questions for you, and I'm sure the audience also will have that. So, but now we are moving on to the next one, which is Pablo.
Good day to everybody. It's currently 11:20 over here in El Paso, Texas, in my hometown. We came down for the week from my workplace. My name is Pablo Viramontes. I'm a graduate from New Mexico State University in Las Cruces, New Mexico. I held a Master of Science in Applied Geography, while my thesis work concentrated on enhancing K through 12 geography education through GIS and citizen science in southern New Mexico. So as I said, this work focused on K through 12 geography education, working with two outreach groups, Trio Upward Bound and Mesa, both concentrating on STEM education and getting the younger generations, middle school to high school age students interested in careers in STEM and STEM education. So I really wanted to identify geography as what I call the silent G in STEM, because it seems to be focused, more in the social studies curriculum and not really as its own subject in the K through 12 system. So I did that through Earth observation, education, and outreach. And I would like to acknowledge AmeriGEO for funding my research. AmeriGEO is an amazing organization that its mission is to boost Earth observation education across all grade levels from K all the way to the university level. It's an amazing group of researchers and scientists from the USGS, NASA. It's an amazing group that really seeks to enhance Earth observation education. So my work with Trio, we had a week to put these students through what it would be like as an undergraduate geography major at New Mexico State University. So myself and some of my professors and fellow colleagues had to really put our heads together and try to condense the field of geography. And one way that we really wanted to do this was through using Earth observation technology. And I'm going to go into that a little bit more. So really wanted to get the GIS component, the geographic information systems, teach the students about mapping and the kinds of things that, geographers do in the academic field and in the professional world. And also using Earth observation technologies such as the Globe Observer app, which I will continue to talk about. So GLOBE stands for Global Learning and Observations to Benefit the Environment. It's an app developed by NASA, but it's also, it partners with NOAA, the Department of State. It's an international program, so anybody could join a GLOBE team from anywhere in the world. It's an amazing app. It's great for mapping land cover, tree heights. And so you can see here on my screen, there's a huge map of our region, so Las Cruces and a little bit into El Paso, but that's just some of our GLOBE team. Our GLOBE team spans across the country, thanks to our amazing partners with AmeriGEO who joined our GLOBE team, Hack the Land Cover. So you can see here on this map. We also have some pinpoints in Ghana. One of my colleagues who presented, Kojo, shout out. he actually uploaded a tree height observation in Ghana before he came to NMSU. So it's great to see this team growing. I hope that some of you are interested in joining, but I highly encourage you to check out the GLOBE program and download the Observer app. It's free and it has amazing capabilities on it. Sorry, a little bit of a delay. So with that, I graduated, and thanks to Dr. Carol Campbell, my advisor, who guided me and actually introduced me to GLOBE. and was so enthusiastic about my research and getting Earth observation education out there, geography, helping with outreach groups. So thank you, Dr. Campbell. It's been a great experience. And so I'm going to go into my current position. I'm the acting conservation program manager with the Valencia Soil and Water Conservation District in Belen, New Mexico, which is central New Mexico, or the Middle Rio Grande District. So part of what I do, in short, is leading a group of youth conservation corps. These are individuals ages 14 to 25 who get employed with the goal of having them stay interested in natural resource work or, conservation. And so what they do is they maintain our Whitfield Wildlife Conservation Area. They also do other projects such as maintaining our 2 community gardens where produce is grown and then donated to the community, the local community. So part of what I do also is work with local farmers and landowners to ensure that their soil is healthy and that they're practicing sustainable farming practices. And as you can see, sorry, my slides are a little skipping around. You can see our district boundary. We extend into 2 pueblos, and it's not just Valencia County. We also have part of Socorro County to the south. So really big district, but amazing work so far. So part of what I'm trying to do is, sorry. Oh, okay. Part of what I'm trying to do is educate the youth that I'm supervising and using like the Globe Observer app and having them interact with their environment and showing them that yes, they can contribute greatly to Earth observation and really just to pique their interest in in pursuing a career in natural resource conservation. So figuring out where our water's going and what satellite imagery looks like, interacting with the environment, monitoring land cover change over time. You could see this burnt tree in the center of the slide. There was a wildfire that ravaged the area 2 years ago. And as you can see in the picture with the pond above and the trail photo, that's restoration work along with nature doing its thing and restoring itself. So part of what I'm trying to do in this new job that I started is to bring my experience in Earth observation education into this field. And with that, that concludes my presentation. I have so much more I could talk about, but I want to thank you all for your time. And it's been great to participate in this webinar.
Yeah, thank you so much, Paulo. Great presentation again, and so interesting to learn the starting point and what you made out of your expertise. There are some questions. I said that we will take the questions at the end. So I will stick to that so that we give time to Tanya and Igor to speak as well. But then we should definitely be able to answer some of the questions. So thank you for being engaged in the chat, everyone. We will answer your questions towards the end. So Tanya, moving on. Tanya, now we will hear about what's happening in Paraguay.
Hello, everyone. It's an honor to be here today. Let me try to share my screen. Good morning, good afternoon, good night to everyone. It's a true honor to speak before you today as part of the UN International Youth Day 2024 celebration. My name is Tania Iloyaga. I am an environmental engineer from Paraguay, and I am thrilled to share my personal journey with Earth observation in Paraguay. This journey has not only shaped my academic and professional career, but also my vision for the future. This story begins in 2019 during my undergraduate studies in environmental engineering at the National University of Asunción in Paraguay. That year, my country, along with Brazil and Bolivia, faced a devastating environmental crisis, which was the catastrophic wildfires that swept across the Chaco Pantanal. Researchers from NASA Earth Observatory reported that flames burned approximately 1.7 million hectares in the region, and WIRA Paraguay reported that approximately 61 hectares were affected in Paraguay alone. The fires were fueled by a combination of climatic factors and human activities such as the slash and burn agriculture practice. The environmental damage was profound, resulting in loss of habitat and destruction of vegetation, which severely impacted the ecosystem. Witnessing this destruction was a wake-up call for me. In response to this crisis, I joined forces with fellow students to contribute to the National Fire Monitoring Campaign, which was later named Paraguay Sin Llamas, or Paraguay Without Flames in English. This campaign was a collective effort from students and investigators from the Faculty of Agricultural Science of the National University Asunción to harness the power of geospatial technologies to monitor fires across the country. Using geographic information systems, we map the fire hotspots, analyze risk factor, and provide critical data to stakeholders on the ground. This experience taught me the immense value of Earth observation as a tool for disaster management and environmental protection. My journey with Earth observation took a significant leap forward in 2021. Thanks to the internship program of the Paraguayan Space Agency Earth Observation Laboratory and GIS, known as GEOLab. This program gave me the opportunity to start my professional career by combining my passion for the environment and Earth observation technologies. As an intern, I worked on projects in collaboration with the National Emergency Secretariat of Paraguay, where we developed value-added products related to disasters such as wildfires and floods. These products were not just academic exercises. They were actively used by the Paraguayan's Emergency Secretariat to assess, manage, and respond to ongoing emergencies. This hands-on experience not only deepened my technical skills, but also emphasized the importance of youth involvement in tackling real-world challenges. In 2023, I was honored to officially join the Paraguayan Space Agency as a remote sensing and GIS analyst. What made this moment even more significant for me was that I became the first woman to join the technical staff of the agency. This was not just only a personal achievement, but also an encouraging step for women in science and technology in Paraguay. Being the first woman in this role reflects the agency's commitment to diversity, inclusion, empowerment of young professionals, regardless of gender. It's a responsibility I carry with pride and determination to pave the way for more women to join this field. One of the initiatives I'm really proud of to be part is the GEOLab New Generations program. This initiative was launched in 2023 and aims to train high school students from underprivileged communities, empowering them to use Earth observation technologies to solve real problems in their communities. In the first year, we graduated 15 students, and this year we are sharing our knowledge with 16 more. These students are not just learning technical skills, they are being equipped to become the next generation of problem solvers and decision makers. The GEOLab efforts are part of a broader international collaboration through networks like Red Labot, AmeriGEO, NASA's disaster programs, and leading tech companies like SRI Panama. Each of these partners contribute their expertise, their knowledge, and their technologies to build a resilient future through cooperation, education, and science. This year, our 2024 high school students had the chance to represent Paraguay at the GEO Youth Congress in Panama. This event was a resounding success with over than 1,200 young people participating in sessions led by national and international leaders in geospatial science and technology. These exchanges have been a source of inspiration and learning for the next generation of problem solvers, equipping them with knowledge and confidence to lead us towards a more sustainable and resilient future. In conclusion, my journey from a student witnessing the devastation of wildfires to an advocate of Earth observation technologies to empower youth and protect the environment has been challenging but deeply rewarding. I stand here today not just as a speaker, but as a testament of the power of youth-driven digital pathway in fostering sustainable development. Thank you for allowing me this platform to share our story, and let us continue to push the boundaries of what is possible with Earth's observation and ensure that our clicks today lead to a meaningful progress for tomorrow. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Tanya. And I just have to say congratulations to the Paraguayan Space Agency who captured you. They are lucky to have you. What an interesting story. And we will come back to you as well, Tanya. I will ask now, we will conclude first with a story about AquaWatch that Igor will talk about, and then a second half of his, or it will be mixed, but he will talk also about the GEO Youth statement declaration. Igor, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much for the introduction, Bente. So today, my name is Igor. I'm originally from Brazil, but I'm currently living in Germany as a postdoc in the Leibniz Institute of Freshwater Ecology and Inland Fisheries. And as Bente mentioned, I will talk about GEO AquaWatch and GEO Youth Declaration, but I would start first very quickly talking a little bit about my path in Earth observations. So when I was in elementary and high school, as presented by Tanya, I was working on projects related to water quality, especially for going to science fairs in Brazil and internationally. But I first learned about Earth observations during my bachelor's degree in geography. And I tried to link geography and concepts of water quality and then via remote sensing. That's when I went for a master's degree in remote sensing, when I applied Earth observations to retrieve optical properties from inland waters. And these optical properties I use to retrieve water quality parameters from Earth observation data during my PhD, for example, for algal blooms and cyanobacteria blooms. And currently in my postdoc, I'm still applying Earth observations to monitor different water quality parameters. And why Earth observations? So as you can see, this figure here is a figure about chlorophyll A concentrations in different lakes in the north part of Germany. And the reasons why is because of the novelty. So a lot of times when I'm presenting or people ask what I do, and I say I monitor water quality from space, it leads to nice conversations because people are just starting to asking how we're doing this. Also because of the challenge, so retrieving these informations from inland water specifically is very complex because they are optically complex systems. And it's the spatial power of this tool because it's the only tool that we can use to monitor water quality from different lakes and reservoirs in the same time. Then my path led me to GEO AquaWatch. And what is GEO AquaWatch, which is the first part on the title of my talk? GEO AquaWatch is a community of practices within the group on Earth observations that has the goal to develop and build global capacity on the use of Earth observations for water quality data and products. And then for the second part of my title is the GEO Youth Declaration. As Bente already mentioned, in last year in November during the GEO Week in Cape Town, there was the first GEO Youth Declaration. And in this declaration, it was presented that to face our global challenges, especially on climate change, we need to combine the youth and Earth observations. In this declaration that you can find online, there are some solutions that they appointed to GEO members to work together with the youth. Some of them are the topics to work together, and I selected here some that are related to the youth communities. So, for example, empower youth, effective communication of sciences using not only technical language, but trying to reach more the youth via social media, comprehensive inclusion of indigenous knowledge, and development of a youth engagement platform. Then how GEO AquaWatch and the GEO Youth Declaration work together, or how we, on GEO AquaWatch, we are we are achieving the goals or the solutions proposed by the GEO Youth Declaration. So we have our social medias on X page and LinkedIn page, and there we share a lot of job opportunities, literature, nice products that are being available. So if you have time and want to know more about water quality, remote sensing, and Earth observations, just follow GEO AquaWatch. And it's a nice opportunity to engage with the youth. The second part is inclusion of indigenous knowledge, and this is something that I'm personally proud that I'm being part of. So on GeoWatch, we had a super nice partnership with GEO Indigenous Alliance. So for those who do not know, GEO has initiative focused on indigenous alliances and led by indigenous people. And last year in Patton in the Netherlands, we participated in this UN Innovation Workshop in Water Quality, where we have one of the challenges working with indigenous knowledge. This led to our participation in the GEO's Indigenous Water Summit, where I was one of the tutors for one of the groups in this hackathon. We also had this highlight sessions in the GEO Week last year in Cape Town. And as you can see in the top, it also led to a paper entitled Contributions of Indigenous Peoples, Earth Observations on to Water Quality Monitoring. And 2 weeks ago, together with a lot of other institutions, there was this webinar with the same title as our paper. So GEO AquaWatch and empowering the youth. So GEO AquaWatch, if I just start here with the numbers, GEO AquaWatch management team, which I'm also part of, we are 11 members and 5 are early career scientists. In the steering committee, we have 2 early career scientists, and we also have the GEO AquaWatch Early Career Society. So our community is divided in the user working group, the technical working group, and the Early Career Society, which I will talk now about a little bit on how we started this Early Career Society. So it all started during our biannual workshop in 2022, where we organized a session to engage early career scientists in GEO AquaWatch. Was moderated by Megan Koffer, myself, and Felipe Lobo. And then we invited Mina Bijic, who in that time she was ASLO, which is the Association for Sciences, Limnology, Oceanography Early Career Committee member. She's now the Early Career Committee chair. And she gave us a super engaging talk on how to survive and succeed as an early mid-career aquatic science. But more than that, we also learn about the importance of having an early career community, the importance of having this inclusive space for discussion and exchange. And I mean inclusive because sometimes when we have broader audiences, the young people are not so, they do not have so much courage to speak up. So having an early career led space makes it more inclusive and people have more courage to talk, to speak. And the importance of sharing experiences. You can all see this session in the GEO AquaWatch Initiative YouTube channel if you want to see what Mina was talking about. So the Early Career Society, we meet every month. We are in the 2nd year, and the current co-chairs are Megan Koffer and Rabia Khan, but we already have our vice co-chairs that will rotate and be the co-chairs for the next year. And the Early Career Society also helps GEO AquaWatch to meet the solutions proposed by the GEO Youth Declaration. And one of them is to develop the systematic youth engagement platform. And that's when our society proposed the GEO AquaWatch Water Talks. And these talks were based to showcase early career scientists, especially from underrepresented groups, especially from Global South. And we do not only provide a platform for them to showcase, but also we provide mentoring for communication skills and also scientific aspects. And the idea is to create this platform, but more this network. So take-home messages I divided in two. So to GEO initiatives, it's super nice and important to empower the youth. It brings different perspectives to help your governance of your community. Having a youth community is super important, as we learn from GEO AquaWatch, because it creates this inclusive environment and can bring more young people to the initiative, and focuses on capacity building of the youth, not only on undergrad, but as we saw in the presentations today by Pablo and Tanya in the high school level. To the youth, don't be shy. GEO initiatives are welcoming. So a lot of times I heard that a lot of young people are shy to speak or shy to join. So every perspective matters. Everyone can contribute. So it doesn't matter if you are just starting your career, you have a different perspective that can contribute to the development of our field and get involved in leadership opportunities. Thank you so much for the time, and I hope we'll have a nice discussion.
Thank you so much, Igor. A very impressive work that you are doing. So congratulations to AquaWatch for many reasons, and to you in particular to really focus on the youth and integration of the youth perspectives, and also the indigenous people. I mean, you're doubling up. You're scoring on all points in terms of in diversity and inclusion. So now we have some questions, and I want to give also, we will go through the questions and comments in the chat, and then I will encourage you to raise your hand so that you can directly take the floor and ask the questions to the panel. And I also ask the panel to ask questions to each other. So we really want to encourage this community building. As you mentioned, Igor, it's all about creating community. And actually, the intrinsic in this webinar, where we are celebrating the International Youth Day, we hope that we will help you who are involved to also be, expanding your networks, get to know each other, so that we secure the future generation of Earth observation specialists. Now, let me see. I saw a question here from Masiat. He or she, are you here, Masiat? I'm not sure if you're still here. The question is the Globe app data available for Southeastern Asia? Is that for you, Pablo?
I believe so. And Chris McGinty might have answered that. Yes, he did. So so thank you, Chris, for helping me. But yes, so depending on what Globe schools are located where, there is data readily available throughout. Like I said, it's international, so yes, there is data available for Southeast Asia. If you go into the Globe data visualization portal, then you'll be able to see, depending on the kind of protocols you're looking for. So regarding biosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, you can choose the filters that you want to see, and then that data will be available wherever observations have been made.
Okay, thank you. So that answered, well, the question, there was another question here from Samuel on if the mobile app is available for Android and iPhone platforms as well.
So yes, it's available for both Android and Apple.
Okay, seems like there's a potential recruitment here for you, Pablo, and those who are working on that.
I hope
This
so.
is great.
It's an amazing program. So
wonderful. So Igor, Virginia, you can take the floor, Virginia, can't you?
Oh, I'll try,
Yes.
but I don't need to take the floor. I was just very, something's wrong with the camera, it's not working for some reason, but really enjoyed these talks. Just the enthusiasm of the first speaker and her unique story compared to the others. You know, they were all different, and each comes with, when we selected the speakers, we were careful to try to get different parts of the Americas and Europe involved and different experiences. And I think we were successful in doing that. So my comment was the Early Career Society of AquaWatch, and Mary Beth Neely is one of the champions for that. She's on the line too. If we could share that experience with other GEO program leads, it might help foster the kind of engagement that they're seeing in AquaWatch in the indigenous peoples as well as with youth. So I would hope that, oh, there's the camera. I would hope that maybe we could talk about that in the EDI subgroup later, about how to, because the youth declaration, for those of you that were in Cape Town, it was hugely impactful. You know, it seemed to be. And so we're not having a GEO plenary this year because we're going to shift to a May a spring meeting to get away from the climate COP and some other things. And so the next meeting will be in
April?
In
Rome?
April, and it's in Greece. So not in Greece.
It's in Rome.
I think it's in Rome.
Yeah.
It's in Rome. Yes. So maybe we could have a session. So I'm just inspired. So I'll be quiet after that. But I just wanted to say that each of these folks have inspired me to think, you know, a lot of people are going to say, well, what have we done since the Cape Town Declaration? You know, here are some great examples, I think. And AmeriGEO, and I'm so thankful that Chris was engaged in helping find speakers. AmeriGEO is one of our GEO associates, a new category. And boy, he stepped up in helping us find, you know, representative speakers for the AfriGEO talk earlier today and this one. So with that, I think Mary Beth has made some comments there.
Yes.
I've done it on a shoestring.
Yeah, I was absolutely. I was just saying that after Igor said I was central to the success, there I was already typing that the Early Career Society leaders are central to their own success, and they really inspire us within GEO AquaWatch to do more things. So yeah, I think it takes effort to engage the youth, but you have to be dedicated towards it. I think we still have not broached the sort of the K through 12 and maybe even the undergraduates to some degree. So we could even do better in that. And that was actually the cause, the reason behind my question, which was to any or all of the speakers. If you could share your opinions on what the motivation is to learn about Earth observation. Is it workforce development and skill building in your country, or is it commitment to preserve the environment, or a mix of both? Thanks.
Thank you, Mary Beth. Just a quick, we will open the panel to expand. I think we got some of the answers already to your questions, Mary Beth, but it doesn't hurt to expand because it's very interesting to learn that and key for encouragement and inspiration for others. But Virginia, I heard the talk of Igor earlier and learned about AquaWatch and what you are doing, and what AquaWatch is doing both for the youth and the indigenous. And I was thinking this is a best practice or good practice, if you like, that we can definitely benefit from. And I want to add, while I remember it, sorry, because Rutendo is here and representing the ocean community, and I know that there's an early career community for ocean scientists as well. And I think, and then there are certain similarities on water quality analysis, Igor, that, you know, on the more scientific level, that, you know, there's a reason, the double reasons to couple these communities, I think. So I think we have a potential there. Now, I will stop and give the floor to each of the speakers to expand on why do you think Earth observation is worth doing for you? Expand on what you already told a bit of the story, but please expand, as Mary Beth was asking. Rutendo, we can start with you because you were first on the speakers.
For me, it's a mix of both. I'll say it was a passion before I wanted to have the skills, because I chose this path because someone told me, this is you. This is what is you. But now I feel also a skill development, because I come from a place where now I'm the only person who was trained in a country to be a marine scientist. It's not a good thing. It's not a pleasure. So it also is a couple of both. I cannot do it by myself. So for me, it's the drive, mixture of both. So yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. And then Pablo.
So I agree with Rutendo. It's a mix of both. As I went on, you know, in my thesis field work, I really feel that I became a lot more passionate in not only, you know, boosting like or promoting skills like GIS, for example, but I, you know, I feel that passion for Earth observation education as to, like, you know, for youth to engage in their environment, you know, with their environment, and to notice how our world is changing, you know. And so I think it's a mix of both, definitely skill development, but also just that motivation to empower Earth observation like AmeriGEO does, as we can do with the GLOBE program. So definitely a mix of both.
Yeah, thank you. And Tanya. You are muted. Muted. You are muted, Tanya. Well, she might be gotten disturbed, so we will have to wait for Tanya's response. Let us know, Tanya. And then Igor.
Well, I think in my view, and also my experience, is that we need to first, for example, I was working already with water quality because it was an issue in Brazil, especially eutrophication in Brazil. So I developed first the passion for the environment. And then when I learned the skills on remote sensing, that's when I joined both passions. So I think it's also, yeah, as Rutendo and Pablo already mentioned, it's a combination of both. But I think we need to teach not only the skills alone, but the skills applied to their environment, to their local and regional problems or issues, and try to develop with that.
Yeah, it seems like a common denominator here is that you want to use Earth observations and your other skills for a specific task that you identified in your local community. And then Tanya, probably she had some issues with the sound or something. But Tanya started when she was introducing herself. She started with the wildfire. That was that I'm impressed. I had the impression that was what ignited her you know, curiosity and wanted to do something. And also she was also talking about that the youth were in focus, and as you are doing now, Igor. So there's several commonalities here, and Virginia, definitely we need to listen again to these talks. It's being recorded, and see what we can, how we can follow up. And actually, I would say that this webinar in itself is already a follow-up of the Youth Declaration, by the way. So we are on a good track, and let's see if there's more questions before I sum it up here. Let me see if there were, Igor, your success of the ECS is truly to their own. Is that early career scientist, Mary Beth?
Early Career Society.
Society, sorry. Yeah, there are so many, this acronym soup. Even if you just heard it, it's challenging. I think we have gone through the questions. And Natalia, sorry. Natalia, the floor is yours.
No, absolutely. I'm just curious about the experience of everybody, like how this kind of capacity development has happening. It's necessary for our regions to be outside of our countries to get that knowledge and expertise, or do we, I mean, my question goes to everybody, like, how do you see that? Do you think that the capacity in our countries are enough so we're able to kind of integrate this technological gap existing between Europe and South America, North and South America and Africa? So I want to see the perspective of everybody in the sense of you need to go outside and have your master outside and able to reach that gap, and if not, have you able to solve that? Thank you.
Yeah. So now I think that we have Tanya back here. Tanya, are you with us now?
Yes, can you
Yeah.
hear me?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I was having issues.
Did you hear? Yeah, you heard a
yeah.
question. Yeah.
Yes, I think today youth can also solve real world problems. They just need to be they need to have that confidence that they're are also able to contribute to any kind of problem solving in different countries. Here in Paraguay today, there are many groups of youth that has been doing work that the government or other agencies have not been able to do. So I think the youth empowerment is also very important. Like Natalia said, is many people think that you need a master's degree or a PhD in order to change the world, but I think that just having the passion or the intent to do good is more than enough.
Yeah, thank you. We need all kinds. I think that's part of what you're saying. And then we go, well, I see you, Igor, so I ask you.
Yeah, so I think I was thinking on these questions, this last one for Natalia. And in my case, for example, when I was doing my master's, I did my master's in Brazil, but the topic that I choose, no one in Brazil was working with. So I needed to look for some guidance in University of Georgia in the US. And so, yes, I think there's countries where, especially in South America, we have a little bit of lack. I think Brazil is now catching up. We have super nice programs now and equipment. But for example, on GEO AquaWatch, 2 years ago, we hosted a workshop in Wisconsin, and there are some people from Argentina were there and from Colombia, and we were discussing that, yeah, for example, how many spectroradiometers do we have in our countries? And some countries do not have any. So yeah, there is a technological gap that we need to to work on it, maybe trying to think on how to share equipments from global south from global north to global south. I think this is some things that are still limiting. And one thing that we always discuss is the language. Like most of SOPs are in English, and a lot of people do not speak or read in English. So yeah, one of the main things also is access to information that is really important and missing in this field.
Thank you. I think we have a meeting in the capacity development working group in GEO as well. And I think I will take his input with me to that group as well. Continuing on, Pablo, do you have a comment on this, on the question from Natalia?
So I think regarding like capacity building, and just from my experience in information sharing, like with my outreach groups, with the STEM teachers, just getting the word out about Earth observation and all of the amazing resources that are readily available. I think it has to be continuous to keep the momentum going to share information, especially on the international scale. I feel like we can tend to get kind of wrapped up in what's going on in our own countries, but for Earth observation, all of us, as Earthlings, to connect with each other, it's important, and share that information, and that there's so much information out there that's readily available for free. And I think there are things that need to be addressed, like Igor said about, the language differences. Like, yes, that's a challenge in itself to address that, but it's not impossible. So I just kind of feel like it needs to stay, I don't know, it needs to keep moving, this kind of information sharing and international, contact with each other. And so I just keep the momentum going. That's all I can say.
I take that as a support of the GEO knowledge sharing statement, open knowledge statement that we also have in GEO. So we have the youth with us on that. That's good to know. Then last but not least on this round, Rutendo, do you want to add something? You partly answered, I think, Natalia's question here, but can you expand on it?
For me, I come from a landlocked country, marine scientist, only one. So for me, there's so much potential. And I feel like, especially in my field with marine scientists, people always forget the landlocked countries. They always think coastal communities, the people that are being impacted. It's logical, but you have a whole other playground there. And I think we need to focus on that more, and that's what I go for. So currently, we're trying to do lectures at universities and try to make people understand what the ocean is, because most people, even my mother, has never seen the ocean. So to have to explain to them what it is and then explain why it's important and how to really impact it, I think we need to think about that also, not think about your own bubble and say, okay, this is what I need to focus on, but to think about the world beyond it.
Yes, the ocean is definitely impacting indirectly the inland countries as well. And I understand that it might be easy to forget that if you are not experienced. So you are a pioneer, Rutendo, for your country, apparently. So at this young age, it's very impressive. Okay, did everybody answer these questions? Yeah, I think so. And we are 7 minutes beyond the hour. Are there any other pressing things? I think that Virginia, Natalia, I saw Nancy was here also. We will continue. We will take up your input, and we are inspired, and we think we are so grateful for you to share your personal stories and your knowledge with us. And you just demonstrate the importance actually of GEO and our little subgroup on equality, diversity, and inclusion. It's definitely adding value to this community, and you are a big part of it. So with that, I think we are ready to conclude. You will receive a recording. We will post a recording I don't know exactly where, but we already have some promises from the GEO Secretariat that there will be some sharing, at least from the GEO website itself. Otherwise, you will get it, those who have registered and the speakers, you will get it in your inbox, the recording of this event. And we will also publish it on YouTube in various channels. I definitely will do that on my channels. So there will be ways for us to enjoy this very inspirational and informative talks later. So with that, thank you so much, everyone. Happy International Youth Day.
And thank you, Bente, for pulling all that together. Not a glitch. It was great.
No, we were lucky this time.